Hi, I'm Kelsey with the Soul Collective, and welcome to your final class, your final July class for Restore and Pursue. So, what we've done already is fill up our well and reconnect with ourselves and a dream, maybe. And then we followed our path to what lights us up and to pursue doing more things that light us up. And then we've taken time to reflect and just to see how far that it is that we've come, because we always forget that we just keep wanting more and more and more, but we've always forgotten where it is that we started from, right? So today's class is to stop overthinking it and to go after it, right? So stop overthinking it. I feel like there comes to a certain point in our dream where after we're so excited, we're like, yes, I can do this, and then all of a sudden it comes to a halt and we're just kind of sitting there like, can I do this? I don't think I could do this. And we've kind of just we get in our own way, right? So that's what we're doing today is we're going to stop overthinking it and we're going to get out of our own way and let the universe just come on through, okay? So with that being said, if you don't know what Restore and Pursue is, there's a link in the description below telling you what Restore and Pursue is, as well as links to this week's email, kind of going into your journaling prompts and a little bit more about why I chose this theme. And then there's also a link for you to sign up for my newsletter below. You don't necessarily need any props today. You can have a block. We'll be moving through Half Moon and a few other variations. And then I'm going to have a blanket for my knee towards the end. We're coming into a half frog pose. So we'll be on our bellies with our knee kind of out to the side. And sometimes it's nice to have a blanket to prop up under that knee. So whenever you're ready, can grab your things and meet me on the mat. So to get started, we'll just be in a seated position. I have a blanket under my hips just to prop them up a little bit. So if you're ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Start to come onto our mats, onto the mat and out of our world, out of our stress. Taking deep inhales and complete exhales. 2 more rounds. And if you need to, in your inhale and your exhale, you can sigh it out the mouth and let it go. And just come back to your natural breath while we're sitting here. And I want you to start thinking about, where is it that you're overthinking when it comes to your dreams? Is there anything that are keeping you from chasing your dreams? Or are keeping you from moving forward? And if there is, I want you to take hold of that. Just take note of it. And I want you to carry that through the entire practice. I want that little irritation of what's making you stall to fuel your practice. Take a few more breaths here. Inhale. Pause at the top. Sighing it out the mouth. To exhale, go ahead and open your eyes. And I want you to bring your hands up and overhead, and grab your right wrist with your left hand and bend up and over to the left. Come back through to center and switch the grip. Right hand to left knee and twist. Come back through to center, opposite side. Come back through to center, and then I want you to walk your hands out and forward fold. So your forward fold doesn't have to be all the way down. You can just be right here with a flat back. working into your hips a little bit. Does not need to be painful. We don't want it to be painful. Just go as far as you're comfortable with. And if you have blocks or a bolster, you could even set them up and put your forearms on it if you are a little bit closer to the ground, but not all the way. Inhale, we'll walk your hands back up, come to a seated position, and then I want you to switch the crossing of your legs to the awkward crossing. So inhale, your arms go up and overhead. Grab one wrist and bend up and over. Come back up, grab the opposite wrist, coming over. Back through to center, hand to knee and twist. I'm just going to pause here for a minute because I really needed this twist. Come back through to center, opposite side. Come back through to center, walking your hands down into a forward fold or partial forward fold. So again, coming back to that thing that's blocking you, right? I want that to be what's keeping you going, because usually that's stopping us, but today we're going to use that to keep going. Inhale, walk yourself back up. Now we're coming into Baddha Konasana, but we're going to take it into a little bit of a diamond shape pose. So instead of your heels being close to you, your feet are going to be together and a little bit further apart. And then you'll forward fold. And if this is too much for you, you can stay, like the last time, you can stay up a little bit or you can forward fold. But I'm going to invite you to try to interlace your hands underneath your ankles and legs. And you may have to wiggle around here to see what's comfortable. But coming here into this position, holding onto your legs and folding. I had a teacher that taught this a long time ago, and it was like my favorite pose that she ever taught for some reason. So while we're here, we're going to undo the right hand and then bring it to the inside of our right knee and gently push it away, creating this stretch all along this right side body here. I don't know if you guys can see it in the video, but there's like 2 or 3 hummingbirds just going at it. There's one hummingbird that does not like the other one to get the hummingbird food. Okay, so go ahead and replace the right hand and then just come to the left side. And again, it doesn't need to be a really hard push. It's really gentle since we're pushing on our knee. It's more of just a slight prop here. Come back there to center, replace the hand, and then just pause here. Unbind your arms and come back to sit up and make your way into a tabletop position. Move your blanket out of the way if you had it. So tabletop position. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are directly underneath your hips. You're going to inhale, drop the belly and pull your chest through. Exhale to round the spine. And your knee placement, that's something I haven't talked about. So when you're in tabletop, you want your knees to be about hip width distance. So if you come up, you can notice that they're in line right here with your hips, okay? So again, inhale, exhale. Go through a few more rounds on your own, creating whatever movement that you need to, whether that's bending, C curves, barrel rolls. whether you need to come back into child's pose. Do whatever it is that you need to do. Whatever you're doing, do 2 more rounds. Last time. Come back to a neutral tabletop, curl your toes and push your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk out your dog or do whatever it is that you need to do here. Where is it that you think that you can step out of your own way? Because of course there are things that we need to do the work. We need to do the work to get there. But I think that sometimes once we're starting to do the work, that we can also step aside and let the universe do its magic too. And a lot of times for that to happen, you need to just relax and have faith. One more breath here. Gaze forward. Step between your hands and forward fold. And just hang here for a moment. You can grab your elbows and sway side to side. Where is it that you need to step out of your own way? Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. Hands come up, go straight back down, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. Hands go up. Exhale, right back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up. Hands go up. Last time, we're coming all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hang here. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the right foot back, coming down onto a low lunge. But for this low lunge, I want you to be a little bit stacked. So your knee is somewhat underneath your right hip. And we're going to bind our hands and put them on top of our thigh. Take an inhale here. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, come back up. And we're going to come into that a few more times, but I want you to go just as far as you're comfortable. We're working into that right hip flexor. So whatever you need to do, I just don't want you to go all out on your first one unless that's what you're feeling. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. And maybe you do go a little bit deeper every time that you come down. That is up to you. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to come down, and this time we're going to hold it. Take an inhale breath. Exhale to plant the hands and put your left hand inside of your foot and heel toe your left foot to the edge of your mat, coming into lizard pose. So here you can stay with your knee down, or you can curl the toes and lift up your leg for a stronger variation. But for this one, I'm going to be down. So you do you. on Instagram the other day, I shared it's kind of a meme that was like a guy on each level, like who's on stairs. And it was kind of like, why are you stalling? And it said fear. And at each level that he had stopped, it said, why are you stalling? And he said fear. And I think that goes for all of our dreams, right? So I want you to come into your weight onto your right hand. And I want you don't have to, you can stay in that lizard variation, but if you want to, you can roll onto the outside of your left foot and shoot your left arm back for this lizard variation. But like I was saying, I think that goes for a lot of our dreams. We stop because there's something that we're afraid of, whether that be what people think. Windmill your hand down, heel toe your feet into the midline, curl the back toes under, hop up for your forward fold. And we're stalling because of fear, because whatever, there's lots of reasons, but if that's what people think or a fear of failure or whatever it is, like I said, we just got to step out of our own way and let the universe handle that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hand, step the left foot back, coming back into that low lunge, that stacked low lunge. Hands are bound on top of your thigh. Inhale. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward, and hold it. So again, coming back to what it is that's holding you back, and I want you to ask yourself, is it fear? Is what's holding you back based on fear? And maybe it's not, but mine is. Inhale. Exhale. Plant the hands, right hand inside of your right foot, heel toeing that right foot to the edge of the mat, pausing here in lizard. Coming into that lazy lizard variation, if that feels good to you. So you're going to bring more of your weight into your left hand, rolling onto your right foot, the edge of your right foot, and your right arm can come back. Windmill your hand down, heel toe your feet back to center line, planting your hands, stepping back to plank, lowering all the way to the belly. Come down, forehead down. Taking your left hand out to a T and making sure that it's right out of your shoulder socket. So your left ear is going to come down, right hand's going to tint up, and you're going to lift your right leg up and over to however far you can. Does not have to touch the ground, but if it can be hanging up in here, the air like this, but I want you to notice where you feel the stretch. Do you feel it in your shoulder? And if you do, then you need to back off your roll a little bit because you want to be feeling this in your chest. Your nice little peck opener. Roll back through to center and go the opposite side. Right arm straight out from the shoulder socket. Left hand tints up, rolling over onto your right side, stopping wherever you feel it in your chest and not your shoulder. One more breath here. Come back through to center. Planting your hands right beside your low ribs, pushing the top of your feet down, rolling your shoulders back onto your back, magnetizing your elbows back, pushing up for cobra. Exhale down, curl your toes, lift up, put your hips back, downward facing dog. Again, coming back to what's holding you back, because that's what we're going to be using to fuel ourselves through this next sequence. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale, right leg goes high. Listen carefully because we're taking the right knee to right tricep and then shooting it back, 3-limb down dog. Right knee to left tricep, 3-limb down dog. Right knee to nose, curl, plant it, rising up for crescent pose. Keeping that thought with you, what's holding you back? Can you work through that? Pivoting the left foot down, coming in, warrior 2. Let it power you. Let it empower you to push you. Inhale, straighten the leg, hinging your hips forward. Wimble your hands down for triangle pose. Wimble your hands back, reverse triangle. Coming into half moon. Have your arm out in front of you, left hand on hip. And I want you to drag your left foot and hinge down. Kicking that back wall if you had that block or wherever you need to prop yourself up. From here, I want you to start to close your hips off, coming into this standing L, and I want you to step out wide off your mat, and your toes are going to be out and heels in, and you're squatting down for Malasana, yogi squat. And if you need to wiggle your way around, get the right distance for your feet, you can. Really pressing into our legs, lengthening our back. One more breath here. Inhale, come all the way to stand. Pivot your feet to face forward, coming back onto your mat. Hip width distance stance and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank and go through your vinyasa, whether that's chaturanga to up dog or belly to cobra, downward facing dog. All right. Again, get that thing that's stopping you, that's holding you back from doing whatever it is that you need to do, and let it power you through. Did that rhyme? I don't know. That sounded weird. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, left knee to left tricep, up and back. Left knee to right tricep, up and back, 3-limb down dog. Left knee to nose and round. Plant the foot, rising up, crescent pose. Pausing here, coming back, letting that thing that's holding us back, that block, push us through and empowering us to move forward instead of holding us back. Hinging the back foot, coming into warrior 2. Letting you letting yourself feel strong here. Strong like a warrior. Inhale to straighten the front leg, hinge forward, wimble your hands down to triangle. And I want you to see if you can imagine somebody coming behind you and grabbing your wrist and gently pulling it up. So you're not only creating a lengthening out of your arm, but you're also creating this lengthening right here out of your spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to reverse your triangle, coming into half moon, right hand on hip, left hand out as a guide, bending into the front leg, dragging your right leg up, hinging down for half moon, kicking that back leg, flexing it like you're kicking it against the wall. Breathing here. Start to pivot your hips around, coming into the standing L, stepping your leg out wide, squatting down, coming into that Malasana Yogi squat. Wiggling around until you find the perfect space for you. Lengthening that spine. And if you have that block and this is too much for you, you can set it underneath your hips. Give yourself a little prop to sit on. Inhale, stand all the way up. Coming back to the center of your mat, feet hip width distance, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, going through your vinyasa, whether that's chaturanga to up dog or belly to cobra. Shift back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. So from here in this down dog, I want you to walk your hands back to meet your feet in forward fold. From here, sit back, rise your arms up for chair pose. And I want you to come up onto the left ball of your foot and then push into the heel of your right foot, lifting your toes. Pausing here, letting that thing fuel you, letting it push you. Inhale to stand up, bringing your left leg with you into your chest for a one-legged Tadasana. You can stay here, or you can bring your right hand to the outside of your right, to the outside of your right knee. Balance is awful today. Shooting your left hand back for a little twist. Come back through to center and heel toe your left foot up 1 step, bringing your right leg this time, crossing it over your left leg for a figure 4 and sitting back. And I know that I've always said that I don't do pretty yoga, but we're doing dancer pose today. And don't worry, I'll give you an option if dancer pose is not for you. Inhale, come back up. One-legged Tadasana, heel toe the right foot. Bringing your left leg into this quad stretch. So here I want your knees to be in line, making sure that you're not opening your hip, but your legs are really together. You can stay here, or if you're coming with me for dancer, if you want to try it, you can shift your grip to the inside of your left foot or your ankle. Your right arm is up. Again, facing forward, knee next to the other one. Take an inhale breath. And exhale, you're going to kick your foot into your hand, and as a pendulum, As you're kicking, your body will come down, your arm will come down. Can't talk and do it at the same time, apparently. If you got it, good for you. One more breath. Exhale to come down. Foot comes down. Stand in Tadasana. Just pause here. Noticing how you feel, first of all. And if you feel kind of down because you're just letting that feeling of whatever's blocking you just really sink in, it's totally normal. Sometimes we need to give our fears acknowledgement and just be like, hey, it's okay to be feared. It's okay to be fearful. But I've got this, right? Our fear is there for a reason because usually it keeps us safe. But when we're at safe mode, we can't get a lot of things done. We can't move forward. We can't progress. So, tell whatever it is that's holding you back, thank you, but I got this. One more breath here. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, going through your vinyasa. Again, whatever that is for you. Put your hips back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Walk your feet to meet your hands and forward fold. Inhale to sit your hips back, hands go up. Chair pose. This time we're coming onto the ball of the right foot, heel of left, toes come up on the left foot. Can you sink down anymore? Let your thing push you through. Inhale to come up. Right knee comes with it for one-legged Tadasana. Again, here you can take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and come back for a twist. Come back through to center, heel toe your right foot. Come to stand on your right foot, taking your left for figure 4. Pushing through. You can do it. Come to stand. Heel toe, left foot, standing on the left foot. Right leg comes into that quad stretch. Again, making sure that our knees are together. And staying here, coming with me to dancer pose. Shifting the grip to the inside of the foot. Left arm comes up. Take an inhale breath. Exhale to kick your foot into your hand and hand into your foot, using it as a pendulum to bring yourself down. One more breath. Gently come down. Tadasana, mountain pose. Noticing how you feel. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, last vinyasa, step back to plank and go through it. Inhale up for your heart opener. Exhale, down and back for downward facing dog. This time I want you to come down to your knees and then come to your belly. And we're coming into crocodile for now, so I want you to place each hand on top of one another and place your forehead down. Just resting here. Coming back to whatever it is that's holding you back. I want you to imagine if you didn't have that thing that was holding you back, imagine what you could do. Imagine how far you could go, what it would look like, what your dream would look like if you didn't have that. I want you to take your left leg and bend it up to hip level. If not, it can be down, it's fine. And I want you to just come up into your half frog, and if you need that extra cushion underneath your knee, you can play around with that too. And then you'll just come back down, forehead down. Sometimes we also compare our journey to somebody else's. We're thinking we should be further along, or we need something that somebody else has. But just know that that's your ego comparing your rising to somebody else's. And everything in your life has unfolded at the right amount of time. Bring your left leg back to center and take your right leg up for your half frog on that side. And I want you to switch the grip. So if you had your left hand on top, I want that one to be on the bottom now. Come back down. Can you relax? Can you ease into whatever it is that's holding you back? Can you give it grace? Can you send it love? Because that thing is, I don't want to say that it's never going to go away. It might for some of us, but I think for most of us, it's always going to have a tendency to come back. And that's just our brains tricking us, telling us that we're not as good as somebody else. And that's not true. Bring your leg back to center and just flip on over to your back. I want you to bring your feet hip width distance and then just let them windshield wipe side to side. And then whichever way they're going, I just want you to just let them fall to a simple supine twist. Come back up, windshield wipe one more time. And then just let them fall in the other direction. Coming back through to center and coming directly into Shavasana. So if there's any other posture that you need to take, you can go ahead and take it. Shavasana is always waiting for you. Otherwise, stretch your legs out long so each corner of your yoga mat. Rolling your shoulders onto your back if you need to, and your palms facing up by your sides. Letting everything relax. Shoulders, chest, your belly and your legs. Your forehead and jaw. And your eyes. Savoring this moment. Taking Shavasana. Start inviting deeper breaths into the body. Starting to make micro movements, beginning with your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. Stretching your legs out long and your arms up overhead. Bending your knees and planting your feet, and rolling onto your favorite side for fetal pose and pausing here. Pausing here to give yourself thanks for showing up on the mat. And I'm going to read to you this passage out of this book that I pulled a card today, and I thought it was pretty fitting for our last class for Restore and Pursue Together. There is a deeper purpose in your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You are born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in this universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information and inspiration that has been coming your way recently is not new information, but memories. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. You are being drawn towards a road that will not only light you up, but also help you light up your corner of the world. Continue following your cosmic guidance that is coming your way. With that thought top of mind, you can go ahead and come to a seated position with your eyes gently closed. As you're ready, you can sweep your arms out, up, and overhead to touch, gathering up all the energy that we've created in this class. Sealing your hands down through heart center to seal the practice. Namaste. Thank you guys for doing this class with me, and if you have been a part of the Restore and Pursue series this whole time, thank you guys so much. I want you guys to start thinking about the foundations that you're laying in your life, and know that the seeds that you've planted are starting to sprout beneath the surface. And you just have to have faith that one of these days, everything's going to come together and everything's going to bloom. And your life is the whole process is beautiful, not only once everything starts to bloom and blossom, the whole journey of planting the seed, the seed sprouting when you can't see it. Just have faith that it's all there and that it's all happening, and it's all happening at the right time. Okay? Just keep trusting and keep walking that path that lights you up, because, as I said, there are many paths you can choose and none of them are wrong as long as you're following what lights you up. Every path you take is an opportunity to learn and to grow. So just keep having faith, keep having trust, just keep going. Stop overthinking it. Whoop! Get the fuck out of your own way. Let the universe power through and help you provide. Have a lovely day, my friends. I'll see you in August. I need a drink. God, I hope I don't have bass sweat after this. Maybe this choice of pants were the wrong choice. All right, let's go.